Hello, YouTube. Uh, well, yeah, there's been something that's been like picking at my I get like my anger button this lately these days. Well, it has been for a while, and people who know me, they know that I'm not quiet, mild mannered guy who sits in a corner and just watches the wind breathe through the leaves and watch the cats uh, frolic in the sand and those kinds of things. The average, you know, don't bother anyone, quiet neighbor type that doesn't really speak his opinions out loud. So this is gonna be quite a shocker. Okay, because the thing is that there is so much racism and bigotry and prejudice going around lately. It's everywhere, and the thing that bothers me most, that seems to be the most like group that are like picked on the most. Is the Muslims, Muslims. I want to be respectful, so I pronounce it correctly. But it's not easy because it's suddenly the pronunciation got changed, and yeah, okay, I should have done a better job. I done a little better research before I did this, but I'm seething with rage now. So yeah, it won't be perfect, but it will be pretty nasty actually, because there's a lot of you and a lot of people with this complexion who's guilty of this crime, and it is a crime against humanity to single people out, especially when they're in a group of people, and there's like at least two Shia and the other one. Yeah, and they fight, and that's okay because you know what? They have a religious privilege. No, not privilege. That's a bad word. Um, well, yeah, it's none of your business what they do. Okay. Yeah, let me get to the point now before I just snap. Okay, because it seems to be an impression that they're just a bunch of like terrorists and criminals and rapists, and that they hate women and throw homosexuals off buildings. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's none of your business either, and it's that's nothing to do with this. Because okay, they're not all criminals and rapists and all that nasty stuff, because some of them actually drive taxis. There are a lot of them who are cab drivers, and it's very convenient. It's so much better than taking a bus. It stops everywhere. You go from A to B. You have an address. You get asked to write it into their GPS, and yeah, and off we go to the correct destination, usually at the first try. And another thing is that okay, I actually prefer them to drive me, and there's a reason for that as well. Okay, you're racist is that they don't really speak the language, so I don't have to force a conversation every time I get in their car. Okay, it's like a mutual agreement. Like, okay, if I have to write it into the GPS. Okay, that means that it doesn't really understand my words, and that's okay because at least I don't have to bother thinking of shit to say, you know? I pay for a ride. I don't pay for you to. Okay? Maybe I should learn the language. Okay? That's a fair point. Okay? From all of you who's not a complete racist. So that's it. I really blasted off this time. That was. That was unnatural for me. Okay? But you know what? I hope you learned a lesson now. White people, I'm talking to you. You know? So next time you think about that, you know, that some of them have jobs. Some of them are barbers too, you know, like cuts hair and stuff, and it's really cheap. But I don't go in there. They talk, they don't really understand language. Yeah, they do sometimes. That's even more like scary when they when they start like communicating in their Asian language. You know, it's not one of those countries. You know what I mean? It's like whenever there's like some guy driving a car into a crowd and it says Asian, that type I'm talking about. Okay, not your Kim Jong Kim Jong Il, no, or un. Well, I should be maybe I should be more respectful, but this video is not about them, and I don't think they have a religion because those guys are just yeah they're like they're God's rejected children. Actually, just got them together on one fucking island. It's really weird. It's not really weird. It's just that be nice to your local cab driver, okay? Because he might be a terrorist. That's my point.